Good morning, everybody. It's John from Veganism KILLS. It's Sunday, September 26th, 6:10 a.m. And today, we're going to answer some of these vegan questions. I gave them a simple study to Ryan. They couldn't debunk it. They accused me of not reading the study. The whole question of the study was to ask them to debunk it. The claim to debunking it was 82 years old. Yet the study's still relevant. It's still on the FDA database. If it's been debunked, it would have been removed. It's that simple, vegans. If you knew anything, you would have realized that. But the whole crux of the asking him to debunk the study was, can you prove that the rats didn't go sterile and die when they were put on this high oxalate diet? No, you can't. And the fact that you turned around and dismissed that they used lab rats, do you suggest we use humans, vegans? Maybe some of you would like to volunteer, but we really don't need you to volunteer because we still have a lot of people who have $20,000 in medical bills that can come here and tell you just exactly what it did to them. And that's who I'm here for. I'm not here for you guys, you idiots, you baboons, you hardcore vegan baboons. Now, this is Race Lever. I actually banned him from ever posting a comment on my channel because he's a babbling idiot. Now, let's see what we can answer to this babbling idiot. You read it enough and responded well enough to prove you're the disingenuous one by you acting as if he said it was from 1939 in your original response when he clearly pointed out way more counterpoints than you ignored to pretty much pretend all he said was moldy bread studies. Yes, that's all he did. He said the study was old. He did exactly that. Unless, of course, maybe you're seeing something else from the rest of the general population. I suggest you go get some kind of help. And fast. And he even addressed that the study, well, that study was done on rats. Well, lab rats are the closest animal that you can get in short term that closely mimic the human biology. That's why they use lab rats. You would have known that if you known anything about science. And adding a high oxalate diet to the rats' diet, because the rats can live and eat and thrive off the same food as humans. That's why they become a pestilence to us. And they died. And before they died, it became sterile. And vegans lie. You didn't debunk the study. How did he debunk the study? Did he have a counter study? No. Who did he quote on the study to debunk my study? Dr. Gundry, who's listed on Quack Watch? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I never seen a bunch of people with such a cult-like mentality that as a last desperate straw, they get a doctor who's listed on Quack Watch, who pals around with people like Joseph Mercola, who the FDA told him to cease and desist selling quack cures for COVID. Now let's get back to this. Even this video helps prove you are disingenuous about that. What? He threw away the study. He ignored it because it was 82 years old. You didn't prove nothing here. This is why I banned you, and I suggest everybody else ban you from going anywhere, because all you do is spread misinformation. You're just as bad as Ryan. He pointed out what you were calling vegan staples aren't necessary to eat as a vegan. Well, who said they were necessary to eat? That wasn't the whole idea. You got everybody on, and mostly every other video, using tons of spinach in the vegan diet. Even the vegan meal generators pop it out and tell you to put in 6 cups of raw spinach to make a smoothie, 2 smoothies, 762 calories, and it has around 3,000 milligrams in each one of those servings. And there's videos showing Angie making a vegan meal with at least a cup of spinach in it. You guys will, it's not me who's disingenuous. It's you. All this wording and putting a smiley face doesn't make what you're saying relevant. You provided absolutely no proof. You know why? Because you have no proof to debunk my claims which come from the FDA. You have none. So all of this comment is just a waste of time to anybody who has an IQ above room temperature, which you obviously don't. Look at this. You were calling vegan aren't even necessary to eat as vegan. Maybe it's not necessary to eat it as a vegan, but yous are. And not really staples for him, which he lies because he has recipes in his cookbook which he flashed by you and didn't show you what was actually in the cookbook. And then we went back and found Angie's videos of her preparing some of those foods in the cookbook, and there was a cup of spinach inside some of those recipes. So we're not the ones being disingenuous. It's you. As she points out, and you basically just pretend it never happened and didn't address. Well, him saying that it's not a staple for him, he's lying. And we can prove it. We can prove it. Do you understand? I got a video of it. Of them eating the spinach and putting it in their recipe book. I can prove it. Can you? Nope. He pointed out the study was done on rats, not humans. Well, in this modern age, they use lab rats and other animals. Do you suggest to vegans that you want to volunteer for these experiments and you take the place of the rats since you're so worried about the animals? Go in and volunteer. Go in and volunteer. Sit there and eat bowls of spinach a day, and we'll see what happens to you. Plenty of things that show harmful to one species of animals that is fine for another species. So you can't just point out one study in a completely different species. I'm sorry. But not only does it kill rats, all right, this is a problem amongst the sheep farmers, you baboon, and cattle herdsmen, that when cattle and sheep or any other grazing animal gets into a patch of spinach or any high oxalate leafy green or fruit or other vegetable, even a potato, if you have been paying attention, you would have noticed that it's not just those couple of ones that were on that 1939 report, but I put that one there because it was simple and didn't give the simple-minded Ryan a lot to go through. All he had to do was read the abstract. He didn't read one thing except the rats. What about the sheep, which are even closer in nature to a human being? They're herbivore. They're a large animal. They're built as a ruminant to absorb all these oxalates, at least at a higher rate than a human being. Yet they get in a spinach patch. They die in 24 hours, you idiot. You baboon. This is why I say you gotta ban these people because they're trying to debunk scientists and studies with their opinion. And they're knuckleheads. They're morons. They call everybody else a clown. It's just a reflective psychology. The monkeys. The trained Mayan monkeys. That's what they are. Look, are being disingenuous or ignorant of both. Meanwhile, there's enough proof out there that, first, he didn't even debunk the simple study they gave him from 1939. Ryan can't debunk a scientist from 82 years ago. With modern science, with his friggin' quack, nothing. He's done nothing. People, you could see that. They've done nothing. All they do is try to do hit pieces and put smiles at the end of it, thinking that they done something when they done absolutely shit. Also, vegan isn't a diet, so you're confused there too. There is no one vegan diet. There are many different vegan diets for someone who claims to be so qualified. Now, you can't even seem to grasp the basic, simple stuff. And then somebody asks, vegan isn't a diet, but there are many vegan diets? How long did it take that lady to turn around and friggin' tell you you were talking in pretzel logic? But you can't see that, can you? The rest of us normal people can see it, but you can't see it, do you? And there you go, people. The vegan dum-dum of the week, race lever. I can't believe it. It took this lady, when did you post this? It took somebody 3 hours to show everybody else what a dummy you are. There is no vegan diet. There are many different vegan diets. There is not one vegan diet. There are many different diets for someone who claims to be so qualified and knowledgeable can't even grasp the basic, simple stuff. But over here, also veganism isn't a diet. There you go, people. Vegans are dogs chasing their tail. But even dogs stop when they get dizzy. Vegans don't. You know, on that note, I'm out of here. The vegan dum-dum of the week. Race lever. Total moron. Talks in a circle. Can't debunk the study, but comes out with this long-winded crap that doesn't present anything on that, doesn't debunk anything on that study. Talks and talks and texts, and absolutely doesn't do anything but prove that vegans just shallow out the gene pool. And on that note, I'm out of here. Don't listen to these lunatics. These vegans. Thank you for responding to all my stuff. Every time you do, I get more subs. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep making a fool of yourself on the internet, and I get more followers. I get more subs. You're doing wonderful.